Okay, so maybe we'll start in the back and work back around. All right, Ryan. So, I mean, it sounds like we often talk about like the value proposition. Right. Just give me in one, I think I heard part of what you're doing that's different when you described it, but if I had to say to you, what's the value proposition of your English language? Like what is that? What's the real value there?
Okay, so the common English courses, which is give you theories, and then they give you worksheets and everything like that,
right.
Just pretty much theories. But then I figured out that it's really not working, sort of. It's not really that effective. Because I have friends, well, I had friends, and also they said that, yeah, I had friends.
No,
I have friends.
So, yeah.
They said that they didn't get as much, in those English courses.
Like, and who are you targeting? Is it someone that is learning English for the first time? Is it someone with a base of English that's looking to improve? Like, what's your target market?
At first, it was school students. They really needed help for national exams, something like that. And also, some parents would just be worried about the children, saying that they wanted the children to go to overseas, abroad, and then they didn't have the sufficient knowledge of English. So yeah, my target market would be a first English learner. ESL, pretty much. Yes.
And I mean, you were beginning to get at this sort of unique value. You were defining it a little bit of what others are not doing.
Right.
But what are you doing? Like, what makes you special?
So I saw what's lacking in other English courses, right? And then I tried to apply some cool stuff in a sense because I wanted to make it fun. So I actually had a Halloween night, and then we actually go out and then give candies to people. Okay. Well, that's like introducing American culture too. And then also we had the Christmas party that we actually don't really have in other English courses. Well, not like that, you know what I mean? So we just gather all the students and then we just have parties. And we have a potluck, and then we actually have one very interesting event, well, for me though. We actually go out to restaurants, and then we pretend that we're not Indonesians. So I call it straight face night. Okay. So what we do is that we go to the restaurants and we talk in English. We don't talk in Indonesian at all, and we just pretend that we are foreigners. Okay. Pretty much, and that was really fun actually, and to see how people react to that, because apparently when we're not Indonesians, they give us more, in a sense. They respect. Like more respect, more attention. Even the manager just came up to us and just talked to us and asked for our experience. So it's just for my students to experience that. And
you're delivering this as an in-person. There's a facility. Like, how do you deliver the courses? Is it like in person?
It can be private, like just one person, but it can also be a group. Okay. Yeah, it depends on the people.
And where do you, for growth? I mean, because one of the things I want to explore with all of you, and I think part of this gets to this ecosystem question of like growth. Yeah. Where do you want to, what does growth look like for your business?
Well, okay, so I have periodical assessment in a sense. And is it my growth, or is it?
No, what do you for your business? What do you see the growth? Yeah, like how many? What do you have right now? How many students?
Okay, so the problem was this. It was growing a lot, right? It was pretty big.
What does that mean?
So it was like just 3 people at first, and then it came to like 12, 15, 30, 35, 40, something like that. Students, right? Okay. Yeah. So the amount of students. Okay. But then I had some difficulties too. I had some problem because it was an unstable income for me. Okay. Because in a sense, so they were just there because of the national exams. So after 6 months, they would just leave, pretty much. So I didn't know how to deal with that. And then, so instead of that being my main job, it started to become my side job, in a sense. Right, so as for growth, I guess that's like really stuck, in a sense, right now. But then I have my main job too right now. So I'm still doing that. But then, yeah, I'm having difficulties in actually doing it right now. Okay.
And was it just you teaching?
Yes, because from my experience, I used to study in an English course, and when they changed the teacher was like lacking in English compared to the main teacher.
Right.
So I did not want that to happen to my students. So I just feel like, you know what, I just have to teach them.
Right.
I don't want anyone to teach them.
And and I think one of the things that we should talk about together is from an investor point of view, right? You're looking at growth. Right. I mean, let me ask the other students, when you hear, and you probably know Ryan already, when you hear about his business, like if you were an investor, what would you think maybe some of the challenges might be? What are some of the weaknesses of his business plan as he has it right now? If Ryan was saying, he just told you about his business and he said, Edward, can you invest in my company? If you were playing the role of an investor, what would your reaction be?
Okay, I will ask them about the planning for 5 to 10 years ago. Yeah,
okay.
Like that. Because I want the business is long last. It's not just for 1 year, 2 year, maybe 3 year, like that.
Right.
I don't want to invest my money in like that.
Okay, so you were taking a long-term growth. Christopher, did you want to say something? I saw you get the microphone. What else? What is your reaction?
No, because the last thing he said is not sure about the market. It's not sure about the income.
Right.
It's not good, When investor wants to invest the money, they must sure about the market. I want to ask about the market for the targeting everything, because for me, market is everything,
Right. And this is an interesting question, because some investors have a philosophy that they're investing in the idea and the market. Other investors, it's all about the team.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, from your perspective, it sounds like you're a little bit more. You said it's all about the market for you, right?
Yes, because for me, for my experience is selling a products, not the idea. If based on my experience, we must do the added value, do innovation like this. But for Rian, I think the idea they sell. He also sell the idea for pretend for foreigners,
Right.
But
right.
For me, every people sometimes like me, I don't like in this business. I don't like in this business, because I have another side, I like the real business, like a production, the
Right.
manufacturing.
He's more a manufacturing
right.
person.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. What about Gracia? What do you think of Ryan's? Like, if you were an investor, what would you?
I would also think like Christopher and also Edward, because also based on my experience that market is everything. If the market doesn't want it, then it's all gone. And
Right.
yeah, and my background is also in executing business, not in service. So what my perspective is based on the market itself.
Okay. So it's just, my reaction, if you want it, is Ryan seems like a really charismatic person, right? Probably your success in communicating with students is based on your personality. For friends who are watching this who have never been to Surabaya, there's a lot of it's not as trafficy as Jakarta, but there's a lot in the streets. Let's say Ryan is on like his smartphone walking across the street in Surabaya and not paying attention and gets run over by a bus. That'd be very bad. Okay, let's hope, first of all, don't look at your smartphone. So if Ryan gets run over by a bus, what happens to his business? It's done, because the business is him, right? So he has I didn't hear anything. So it's interesting. So it's part of it. Okay, so to me, market, yes, there's a lot of competition, but he has this unique ideas, this sort of foreigner night out, the Halloween. I mean, because he's got a great personality, right? But it's stuck in him. Yes. And if he gets run over by a bus, and I invest in that company, that business is done, right? So, what I would be interested, that's where I would challenge you, is to say, okay, particularly given the fact that we're all walking around with these computers, right? And most people, whether it's in the US or Indonesia, are like, they're staring down at these things, right? And there's a growing number of applications and apps that do everything, including education, right? I mean, I mentioned before, I have an online class. I know University of Saputra has online classes. Like, so I think I would have been intrigued if you had said to me, hey, we started with this, you know, it's me taking a bunch of people out for dinner, it's me doing Halloween, but where I see this going is we're gonna develop an app that, or something, you know, an online course, so I can, instead of reaching 3 people or 40 people, we're gonna reach a lot more people. And the model is gonna be, they're gonna pay a subscription, and it's funny, maybe it's like, I saw that people were paying only to prepare for exams, but I wanna balance that over the year. So I think your model needs to evolve. And to me, to grow it, I mean, hey, there's lots of service businesses that, you know, you could just hire a lot more. I mean, another way you could do this is obviously hire a lot more people. I mean, any consulting business, you know, and it doesn't matter if you're Accenture or EY or, I don't know who else, if there's, what's a big Indonesian consulting firm?
I think McKinsey.
Oh, McKinsey, right? These
McKinsey, yeah,
right. So
McKinsey.
how do they make money? You know, they take a bunch of money and then they hire people and pay them less than what, you know, so they build, you have other people doing the work for you. So if you had these other 4 people teaching for you, and, you know, you're getting, you know, 100,000, you know, what's the currency here again? Rupiah?
Rupiah.
Rupiah.
Yeah.
By the way, the dollar goes a long way in Indonesia. You should come visit. 100,000 rupiah, you know, an hour. You're getting paid, and you're paying them 30,000 an hour. Okay, that's a good model, right? But I guess the way you have it structured right now, and the way you describe it, it doesn't seem very interesting to an investor. You know, investors want growth. So again, the market is part of it. And we'll get to the rest of you guys, because I have some thoughts about your growth too. But you've got to sort of say, where is it going to grow? I mean, you know, Gojek. So Gojek, for all of our viewers, describe Gojek, Ryan. Yeah, because just in case there's some people watching from around the world who don't know, what is Gojek?
Gojek, a transportation mean for anything you need.
Right.
Pretty much, right?
These are like motorbike riders who will go pick up your
Stuff.
Yeah, there's a car too now. Car, right? Go car.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's like kind of like Uber-ish but it's around motorbikes.
Yeah.
You know, that's a growth business, right? You know, so I would challenge you to think about growth and to also think about how do you use technology to power the growth. So that's my challenge for you.
Right.